Kim Kardashian has always been the woman who could control the narrative, the billionaire business mogul who could spin scandal into strategy, heartbreak into headlines, and chaos into cash. But this time, the mask slipped. When Kim sat down with Call Her Daddy's Alex Cooper, fans expected light gossip, maybe a few surface-level confessions. What they got instead was a raw, unsettling look into what it was really like being married to Kanye West. Because for the first time, Kim didn't speak like the brand. She spoke like the woman behind it, the one who admits she was scared, exhausted, and constantly walking on eggshells in her own home. She didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't filter it. And when she said, "You don't know how unpredictable it was," people finally understood. The life she was living behind those designer gates wasn't glamorous. It was survival. She talked about the mornings when she'd wake up to find a Lamborghini missing from the driveway, the nights when silence in the house felt more dangerous than the yelling, and how, in her own words, she had to become the calm in the chaos. For years, the tabloids called them the power couple, but according to Kim, that power came with a price. Because behind every photo shoot, every red carpet moment, every picture-perfect post, there was a woman trying to hold it all together while the man she loved unraveled in front of the world. And when the world started calling their divorce a scandal, Kim called it what it really was: freedom. Kim quote, "It's not kidnapping. It's divorce." That one line, part heartbreak, part mic drop, changed everything. It was the moment Kim stopped playing along and started taking back control. So tonight, we're going inside Kim Kardashian's most revealing interview ever, dissecting the hidden clues, the coded confessions, and the quiet fury in her words. From the unpredictable nights with Kanye, to the way she shields her children from the truth, to how she finally learned to stop defending the man who once defined her. Because this isn't just about a breakup, it's about survival, image, and the dangerous reality of loving a man the world calls a genius. This is FameDetective, and today we're exposing the dark truth behind Kim Kardashian's life with Kanye West. The marriage, the madness, and the moment she finally walked away. For years, the world saw Kim and Kanye as Hollywood royalty. They weren't just a couple, they were an empire. He was the visionary. She was the muse. Together, they built a legacy: fashion, music, art, and 4 beautiful children: North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. But Kim's words in this latest interview hint that behind the scenes, things weren't as polished as they looked. Kim quote, "You don't know how unpredictable it was. The house would feel calm one night, and by morning, everything would be different." She wasn't exaggerating. According to multiple reports and her own confessions, Kim lived through years of emotional whiplash, never knowing if Kanye would be loving and creative, or withdrawn and furious. She described moments where the Lambo would be gone the next morning, hinting at Kanye's impulsive behavior, a metaphor, and maybe even literal truth, for how unstable things became. Kim tried to hold the facade. She showed up at events, smiled for the cameras, and pretended it was all fine. But every time Kanye went on one of his infamous rants, whether it was about her family, or politics, the cracks deepened. And when Kanye publicly told the world that Kim almost ended her pregnancy with North during his 2020 campaign speech, that's when Kim says her soul left her body. Kim quote, "That was supposed to be between us. And suddenly it wasn't. It was just everywhere." This was the moment Kim realized that privacy, something she thought she'd learned to control, had completely vanished. After years of emotional chaos, Kim made a decision that would change everything. She filed for divorce in February 2021, a move that Kanye would not take lightly. At first, Kim tried to keep things civil, but soon Kanye took his anger to the internet, posting screenshots, song lyrics, and wild accusations. He called out her family. He accused her of keeping their kids from him. And then, he crossed a line. In one viral post, Kanye claimed Kim had kidnapped their daughter, North. Kim's response was sharp, cold, and unforgettable. Kim, quote, "You can't kidnap your own daughter from her mother. It's not kidnapping, it's divorce." That single sentence sent shockwaves through social media. Fans realized just how intense things had gotten. That Kim wasn't just fighting for peace. She was fighting for control over her family's safety and stability. She explained that her main goal was always to protect her kids from the chaos, even if it meant taking the heat herself. Kim, quote, "I'm not going to let them see that kind of pain. I want them to see their dad as their hero." Even when Kanye was lashing out publicly, Kim refused to retaliate in kind. Her silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Because as she revealed, she didn't want her children to grow up and read a war between their parents. When asked how she manages co-parenting with Kanye, Kim gave an answer that shocked even Alex Cooper. Kim said, "You just do the best you can. Some days I cry myself to sleep. Other days I'm so proud of how far I've come." She described keeping Kanye's unpredictable nature away from the kids and how she's had to rewrite what normal means in their home. Kim said, "If they want to play daddy's songs in the car, I put them on. I don't ever want to be the reason they don't love something about him." That line struck a nerve with fans, because it showed that Kim, despite everything, still sees the value of keeping Kanye's legacy alive for the sake of their children. But the truth is, co-parenting isn't easy when your ex is Kanye West. One day, he's buying a house across the street from you. The next, he's releasing a song threatening your new boyfriend. Kim revealed that there were nights when she couldn't sleep, wondering if the next day would bring peace or another public meltdown. Kim said, "I used to panic every time he posted something, wondering what the kids would think when they're old enough to read it." Kim says she's learned to live in a constant state of calm, not because her life is peaceful, but because she had to be the steady one when everything else was falling apart. Kim said, "I had to be the calm in the chaos. If I lost it, everyone would." She talked about the pressure of being not just a mother, but a public figure whose every move was dissected online. Even when Kanye mocked her for allowing North on TikTok, Kim stood firm, reminding the world that she's the one raising 4 kids largely on her own. And for those who questioned her parenting, Kim had a message. Kim said, "You can judge me all you want, but until you've walked in my shoes, don't talk about how I handle my kids." Fans applauded her raw honesty, but others saw sadness behind her strength. The billionaire businesswoman who seemed to have it all was really just surviving one day at a time. In the aftermath of the divorce, Kim has rebuilt herself, but not without scars. She's redefined her image, her focus, and her peace. Now she's using her voice to champion independence and taking control of her narrative once again. She recently made headlines at the premiere of her new show, All Fairs, where she stunned fans with her confident new energy and hinted at a major career shift. Behind the glam, she told interviewers that she's done apologizing for her past. And for the first time in years, she seems genuinely free. Meanwhile, fans are buzzing with news that Rob Kardashian will finally return to the Kardashians. Some believe it's a way for the family to reset, to bring authenticity back into a show that's been dominated by chaos. Kim's story, from Kanye's unpredictability to the healing power of motherhood, is proof that even the most famous woman in the world can be broken, rebuild, and rise again. Kim Kardashian has lived through the kind of love story that turns into a warning. She fell for a genius and survived the storm that came with him. She's been called heartless, strategic, manipulative, but when she speaks, what we hear is a woman who fought for peace in a world built on noise. And maybe that's what makes her story so human. Because in the end, it wasn't about fame, fortune, or even Kanye. It was about finally choosing herself. And if you want to stay on top of every twist, reveal, and hidden truth behind Hollywood's biggest names, don't forget to follow FameDetective for more deep dives into the stories they don't want you to see.